Hello, 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 everyone. This is Dr. Rose Muralikrishnan from Los Angeles. How is everyone doing? It's another gorgeous day here in LA, Los Angeles, California. How is it all for you up there in wherever you are living? Welcome to yet another fantastic episode of the Artist Beyond Limit series with an amazing dancer, performer, dance teacher, choreographer, and media visualizer, and also television director. Before I bring her in, just a few words of my thoughts as our audiences gather to witness this a beautiful episode of Artists Beyond Limits series live interview. And to all my distinguished viewers, fellow enthusiasts, and audiences around the world, as we are going to be listening to a great dance master, I would like to say a few words about the mesmerizing power of Indian dances. Within the rhythmic movements, vibrant costumes, and intricate gestures of Indian dance forms, history, tradition, and artistic expression that has captivated hearts across the globe. Indian dances are a reflection of the diverse and dynamic culture of our beloved ancient land. Each dance form tells a story, weaving together mythology, folklore, and human emotions into a stunning visual and auditory spectacle. From the graceful mudras of Bharatanatyam to the energetic footwork of Bhangra, every dance style of India carries its unique narrative, carrying the essence of India's spiritual and social journey. Bharatanatyam, one of the most revered classical dance forms, is an embodiment of devotion and storytelling. Through intricate footwork, precise hand gestures, and expressive facial expressions, dancers narrate tales of gods and goddesses, bringing to life the ancient scriptures and epics that have shaped the Indian ethos. This dance form is not merely a performance, it is a form of meditation that connects the dancer, the audience, and the divine. With its dazzling footwork and spins and all Indian dance forms, mesmerize audiences with its sheer dynamism. Beyond its physical powers, Indian dances are a conversation, I would say, conversation between the dancer and the audience, a dialogue that transcends language and communicates emotions that resonate deep within the heart. Indian folk dances, on the other hand, that's another very important aspect. Indian folk dances, those reflect the vibrant regional diversity of the country. From the exuberant classical Bharatanatyam of the south to the graceful Kathak of the north, dynamic folk dances of the east, and the soul-stirring dances of the west, every dances encapsulate the local tradition, celebrations, and daily lives of communities. They are a celebration of unity in diversity, a testament to the myriad ways in which people come together to express joy, sorrow, and, I would say, camaraderie. In recent times, Indian dances have transcended borders, captivating international audiences with their charm and energy. Bollywood dance, which fuses traditional and modern elements, has become a global phenomenon, creating a bridge between cultures and spreading the infectious joy of Indian rhythms. But beyond the cultural and artistic significance, Indian dances carry a profound message. They remind us of the importance of embracing our roots, preserving our heritage, and celebrating the rich stories that shape our identities, personal identities from each region, I would say. They also show us that art transcends boundaries, forging connections between people of different backgrounds and fostering a sense of unity in a world that sometimes feels fragmented. As we witness the power of Indian dances, let us also remember that dedicated artists and practitioners who have carried these traditions forward generation after generations. Their commitment to excellence, their tireless dedication, and their passion for the art form are what keep these dances alive and thriving till today. Today, we are going to be bringing one such phenomenal dancer and dance teacher who is going to be speaking to us and sharing all her beautiful experience of what made her to be who she is today, who is none other than Kalaimamani Dr. Radhika Shurajit. Dr. Radhika Shurajit, you don't have any um, introduction to her, but it's my duty to introduce her in case if anyone out there in the world, if they did not know who she is, and I will tell her who she is. Dr. Radhika Shurajit, an established performer, teacher, choreographer, media visualizer, television director, and the eldest of the trio sisters, is one of the first and senior most disciples of Padma Bhushan D. Dhananjayans, the legendary dancing couple. Radhika trains many students at her institution, Trayi in Chennai. She has choreographed several unique dance productions which are very popular globally. She is a trendsetter in creating dance productions for stage, television, and the celluloid medium. She travels extensively all over the globe with her performances, lecture demonstrations, and the dance workshops for the last 3 decades, I would say. And she also performed in California a while ago, and that's how I met her. I would say it's probably 20 years ago. That's how we met, and we instantly became friends, and we still keep our friendship till this date. She is an impaneled artist with the Indian Council of Cultural Relations since 1987 and has represented India at several international festivals abroad. Radhika has specialized in adapting dance through the lenses and in taking Bharatam to every common man. So Bharatanatyam is our cultural, traditional, valuable Pokisham. And so it is important that everybody must know about it. And she is one among those very few dancers who is taking it to every common man. She has conceived, visualized, and directed the popular and first of its kind Bharatanatyam game show, Takadimita. So probably you all watch it in TV, Jaya TV, and it telecasts on Jaya TV. This show had completed more than 500 episodes and has also won National Brapa Award as the best television dance shows in India. Now she has conceptualized and directed the ongoing dance show Takadimi Takajenu. Yeah. Radhika was the convener of the popular dance seminar Natya Darshan by Karthik Fine Arts continuously for the past 3 years. She is currently the president of the Madras chapter of Indian Dance Alliance and why. Radhika has choreographed several national award winning songs for feature films. So next time when you go to movies, just check it at the bottom, dance. So her name is definitely there. I had seen several of them, and she had the rare opportunity to work on the music of Maestro Ilayaraja, Oscar awardee, double Oscar awardee, A.R. Rahman sir, Vidyasagar, Ramesh Vinayakam, and many others. She is the recipient of several prestigious awards. Honorary doctorate she holds, and from the Global University from the US in 2019. Kalaimamani Award from the Government of Tamil Nadu in 2011, a Global Achiever Award at the Parliament House, London in 2019, Acharya Chudamani from Sri Krishna Gana Sabha, Best Dance Guru Award from Madras Music Academy, and Kala Seva Bharati from Bharat Kalachar, and Honorary Citizen Award from the Oklahoma City State University in the United States, and recently the Indian Icon Award just few weeks ago. And that motivated me that, okay, with this kind of legendary backgrounds, I have to bring her in and have her talk with all of you so that we will know what she went through to achieve who she is today. Without further ado, let us welcome Kalaimamani Dr. Radhika Shurajit ji on stage. 1 second here. Namaskaram ji, Radhika ji, how are you doing?
Namaste, Rose Muralikrishnan.
It's beautiful.
So happy to be part of your show. So happy.
Thank you so much. It's our honor, our pleasure to have you with us, and thank you for accepting to be with us. And it is a wonderful, wonderful, feeling to have you with us, Radhika ji. So I want you to just say a few words to the audience before we start our interview.
Well, first I would like to thank you for inviting me for this show. And it's always a pleasure to go down memory lane to recapture some beautiful, memorable moments from your life. And it's like reading your own photograph and autobiography. And it's going, I'm sure it's going to be a great experience. Well, thank you for the elaborate introduction about me.
Not at all. You should be having 10-page filled with introduction, but I shortened it. I feel so bad to do that.
Even that, I think every moment for an artist is so important that I live only in the present. So none of it has got into me. So it was like listening to you talk about someone else. Yeah, right. And hi to all US audience. And I travel a lot in US, so I know the audience out there. So it's a pleasure to reconnect to you through Dr. Rose Muralikrishnan.
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful experience to have you with us. As it always goes, my first question is going to be, I would like to ask you the typical question that everybody will ask, the guests. So please tell us about your family, your parents, your childhood, your schooling, and your upbringing with the dance as a young girl, and about your sibling, like as a young child, what your background was to everyone. This is basically for people who, are scared of getting art field into their lives. Even though they are so much talented, so much interested, there is always a fear that, okay, can we make, anything into arts if I take it as a career? There is always a fear. So I bring the phenomenal artists and have them talk to them from their childhood till today, like what all the things that you face, so that they will know, hey, this is one of the best fields that boldly go and take it up. So I just wanted to ask you the typical question. So this is your time. Please go ahead, Radhika ji.
Okay, I was one of the three sisters, and my parents were Captain Natarajan and Malati Natarajan. My father was an airline pilot. but he got grounded because of a heart attack. And so um, we come from a very ordinary, medium, middle income group. Okay, as you all know, Natyam is such an expensive art. But for my gurus, it would not have been possible to even learn this art form. And we were three, and my father would always say, I have Durga, Lakshmi, and Saraswati born to me. He never had any regrets about three girl children. And then I grew up in a normal middle income background, and Dhananjayans had just come out from Kalakshetra, and they stayed close to our house. So maybe we were too mischievous, and my mom thought it would be better if she puts us and keeps us occupied. And I was crazy about dancing. And any music on the radio, immediately I would start dancing. I was the craziest one of the three. Okay, I was um, high strung and a nervous child, a frightened child, and can you believe it? And a frightened child. And then so I told my mom I was not a good looker too. My sisters were gorgeous looking. So I also had a terrible inferiority complex. And but I wanted to learn Natyam. So my master and Akka took us as their first batch of students. And they had just started their institution, Bharatakalanjali. So I joined the Dhananjayans. And it was not so easy for me because my body structure, I think, was not made for Natyam. So more than the others, I had to work hard. And then at some point, others were saying, "Why don't you give up Natyam? It's so difficult on your body." But my perseverance and my single goal, I thought, I will be a dancer. I'll prove everyone wrong. And nothing is impossible, Rose. Nothing is impossible. So I had to work more harder than the others. But then I put my will, and I told myself I would make my master say that I'm the best. Okay. But like I told you, I had this terrible inferiority complex. I was not good looking. So I worked very. What is it? I don't hear you. I don't hear you. No, what is it? I can't hear you.
Sorry, my mute button got jammed, and I think my
Okay, no problem.
okay. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
keeping
everybody.
my microphone on.
Oh, no,
I'm not
no, no,
muting
no.
it.
It's just
Okay.
it pulled out of my computer. So sorry
So
about
what were you
that.
saying?
No, I was
What were you
saying,
saying?
never call yourself not gorgeous. You are one of the gorgeous women. Even at this age, you look beautiful, and you are one of the best dancers. And I will not buy that from you. I'm so sorry to say that publicly. You are one
I'm
of the
definitely not putting words into your mouth.
no, no, you're not.
I'm just talking about what I felt when I was young.
Exactly, yeah. But I'm saying
Okay.
my view that you are a gorgeous, 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 most
Thank
gorgeous
you. Thank you
goddess.
so much. Thank you. But then my mom was my biggest support. What she would say is, okay, if you think you're ugly and not so good looking, you will make people see you for your work. So that got into my head even as a child. So, like I said, I worked very hard. And after the Arangetra, my Dhananjans came and told my father uh, that Radhika is my best student. So, what more can I ask? My sisters were equally talented, but to get these words from Master and Akka and truly made my day, changed my thought about life and myself. And then we continued learning after many you as you know, we started performing. We were the first group of students. So we started performing with the Dhananjayans as a group. And slowly our Arangetram was fixed. And We were not very keen on an Arangetram. My mom was not very keen. She said, I wanted them just to learn the art beautifully, but why an Arangetram? But Master said, working towards an Arangetram will get the best out of them because you're preparing yourself to go on stage. And as I told you, we come from a very ordinary background, and so my mother has made a lot of sacrifices, Rose, to even get, see, if it is one tala saman, it had to be three costume, three plus three, six costumes. Nowadays people change four costumes, then everything had to be three times. So but we managed, and you very interestingly, our Arangetram was our 100th show on stage. We had danced 100 times earlier with Dhananjay's group along with them. So we had this honor of being on stage with them. So that was my most memorable memory that I cherish for my lifetime. And yesterday, Shanta Dhananjayan turned 80. And we had a very huge celebration in their dance school. And so it brought back so many beautiful moments of my learning. And what would I talk about my teachers? They were Karnan. They would give everything they knew without any holding back, So I learned not just Natyam, I learned music, I learned Nattuangam and administration because at that time, when I was growing up, my teachers were traveling and busy performing. So the entire responsibility of taking classes, and also he gave us the freedom to choreograph. So I was doing the choreography, training students for Arangetram, and so they being away and me handling things alone made me learn so many things that go with a presentation, with a performance, with the training of an artist. That's how I was groomed. I learned about stage techniques right then, my special lights, spotlights, and everything. But I never knew that would become my one part of my life later.
Yeah, wonderful.
So, in fact, Master used to call me my blotting paper. So what he would say, I would just absorb like that. And so those were beautiful things. We traveled abroad so many times with the Dhananjayans, and any outing, like I missed out on all the birthday parties of friends or going out partying, nothing. All my time was spent just with them, either sitting and watching them perform or choreograph. We were part of it. And so I at that time, I didn't regret when all my other friends who used to go partying and films and everything, nothing. I had nothing in my childhood, but beautiful memories. So when I look back now, I think I tell my students, you don't lose anything when you have to get there. Become someone really people whom will look up to. You need to do some sacrifices, and I don't think they're big sacrifices. Friendships will last whether you go partying or movies. And no, very surprisingly, going out eating in restaurants or going for movies was also with the Dhananjayans. So they were more like a Mata and Pita to us. And marriage, only when I got their approval, I got married. Of course, I'll talk about my love life later. Now, my training was so complete, and when we did our Arangetram, we became so popular because we had so many years of training. It's not like 2 years you learn and then you want to go on stage. It's never like that. 10 years minimum, you have to learn to go up on stage for a solo recital. So, okay, Arangetram was a super success, and the Dhananjayans named us the Trio Sisters, and lots of shows all over India and the globe. We were giving performances. This was my childhood and growing up. Of course, when I talk about my family, I was a radio announcer even then. Microphones and lens somehow they held a special charm to me. So I was a radio announcer, and my husband, Shurajit, people think he's a North Indian, but actually Shurajit, Surapadmani Vendravan, one who became victorious after slaying Surapadma, Surajit. My father-in-law was very fond of these unusual names, and so people ask me, "What are you, a North Indian or anything?" But no, I am very much a South Indian. And I got married to him. It was a love marriage, and my parents approved of it. And he is there right now, working in US at Greenville. He's a professor teaching television production, and so he's there, and he made a very big sacrifice for me when he went to US. Of course, like any wife, they expect you to go along with him and make a home there, but he went to US when I was 40. So I had already made a name in India, and I didn't want to go. And I said, my roots are here. My parents, I would like to take care of them when they get old. And my daughter was born, and she was about hardly 3 or 4. I said, no, I made a conscious decision. No, she was 10 when I was 40. So I said, no, I want her to grow up in this Indian soil. And so I decided to stay here, and he made the huge sacrifice of staying there alone. And he's been there for almost 25 years. And
Wow, that is a real love. I can't believe it. So
yeah,
how often do you both meet?
now every year, every year he comes for 3 months for summer, and I make a visit there, and I do workshops and also spend time with him. And so I would like to really, really thank him for what I am today, because had he insisted on me going to US, now things would have been different. I would have still made my school and everything, but then things would have been very different. My daughter is so beautifully grown up with Indian music and Tamil theater and dancing, and she's married, and she says about 1 street away from me. I have a grandchild who is about 4 years old, Anika. So I get to look after them. My husband would be retiring in another 2 years, and he'll come back. So
How
big
amazing.
sacrifice from the family.
I can say it's a beautiful story. I mean, it's a true love story, I would say. I mean,
Yes, yes.
with
And
lots
then
and lots of
distances
sacrifice.
made, somehow I think distances make our relationships even more sweeter.
Very, very true. I know, I completely agree with you. It's a
Yeah.
hundred percent truth. And my next question for you is, you are into, movie industry a lot. So can
Yeah,
you
yeah.
please share your story,
Of
of
how I
your,
entered Philips,
yeah,
right?
your entry into the film industry, and all these memorable moments you have, lots and lots probably. So what
Well,
was the first
I was
impression?
already established as a classical dancer. So Suhasini Maniratnam was doing a movie called Indra, and she wanted me to choreograph a song which was entirely on children. She said, "Can you do something with your students?" And first, Rose, I should admit that I was very hesitant. Right, I said, "Okay, you have made a name as a classical dancer, and then suddenly you enter into films. They call you a film choreographer or a film artist, and I didn't want that. No, though I loved films. I love films, Rose, and till to date, every day I watch a movie. Every day. I'm so passionate about films. I wanted to be a film director, but at that time, my parents would not allow. Even though I got admission into Pune Film Institute, they would not allow. And but very beautifully, I came into the film industry after making a name in my art. My father said, "No, you're getting into films, you won't have a proper marriage or a proper life like others." But now, after having made a name, I got an entry into films. So Suhasini said something very different, something non-filmy. Then I said, "Okay, let me listen to it. Give me." Okay, she said, "Let's go to Rahman's studio." So we went to Rahman's studio, and he himself came, stood next to me, and played the track of Nila Kaikiradu. And that was an unmixed track of Harini singing. Nothing added, no add-ons, just a song. Then Rahman asked me, "Do you like the song?" I said, "I love it." "Then why don't you do it, Radhika?" So the moment he asked that, I took a decision there in Rahman's studio to do the song. I said, my heart says,
That's
do it.
beautiful. That's very, very beautiful to hear
So
that.
why should I think about what people talk? I love the song, so I'm going to try out this. By then, Rose, I should say, I've already been doing directing shows on television for Doordarshan, many shows, and every Tamil New Year I'll come up with a new concept. And it was not just Natya, but acting and we capturing visuals relevant to the topic. So I was already doing that. And so film was, I said, okay, Sukasni, I'll do it. So with my students, I did the entire choreography and showed it to Sukasni as to how it is going to look. She came home and she said, well, you wait and see the response. So we went to Shoranur to shoot the song. And as soon as the song, the first shot was taken by Santosh Sivan. Okay, I admire his work, and the entire team stood up and clapped for me. And Santosh Sivan said, Radhika, ma'am, you have some magic in you. And that inspired me somehow. I thought, if they are saying it, they are great people who have worked with so many artists, then there must be something which I should find. And by then, television had come into our lives, and I loved working on the lens, and lens attracted me. And also, Rose, I thought the dancers whom I admired on stage, when I saw them on television, it was so disappointing. Sometimes the greatest of artists. Then that made me go into my research of why is it not looking so good? It's not a mistake of the artist nor the medium. Now, where is it that it's not looking the same? Where I have cried watching this performance on stage, but on television it doesn't touch me. Why? Then that made me into a long discovery of finding there are two different mediums. When they are merged together, you need a person who knows both the medium to merge them. And I should confess that I had no technical knowledge or training on television or lens. It's only by working you learn. Now, I have worked with the best cinematographers, Santosh Shivan, Rajiv Menon, Madhu Ambat, name them, I have worked with them. So I would watch where they place the camera. By being observant, I would very happily and humbly say I'm a Soyambu when it came to television. So I would watch them. And when it came to my performance, I would choose the same background or choose the same similar background and place the camera the way they did it. And see, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work, but only through mistakes we learn. So slowly I learned about lenses, about camera movements. Somehow I felt the movements that you choreograph for stage are not suitable for the camera. They may not look the same. So we have to readapt them without changing the grammar or without giving up the technique or the foundation. You have to adapt it to a different, it is a scientific medium. And that's a road of joy and discovery for me. And I'm happy that that song, it didn't have the heroine, it didn't have glamour, but it was a super hit song. Even till today, Rahman says, list all your favorite numbers, then Nilak, I get this thing. So that became a super hit, and I did get many offers to work on films, but I was very choosy, Rose. It necessarily need not be a dance number, but I wanted something aesthetic and someone who believed in me for me to work. I was not interested in doing many songs just for the name of it, because I love the medium. I want to do something very beautiful, and the songs that I worked on have all won national awards. So
How beautiful to
something that,
hear that. See, sometimes it's okay to be choosy.
yeah,
That's really
sometimes,
lovely to say.
yeah. Even now, I keep getting offers, but then after Indra success, then I worked on Jnana Rajashekhar's Bharati, and that was a story of Bharati, as you all know. So Bharati was a very beautiful experience, and Thankar Bachchan was the cinematographer. He loved my work. So when he did Aragi, he wanted me to do. So Aragi, music by Ilayaraja. So I went and did. He said it's not a dance song, ma. I said I'm not very keen on a dance song. How Abhinaya is so important to dancers. So how would you express through a lens? How would you express through a lens? You had to be subtle yet very, very intense. And I was so fortunate to have worked with Nandita Das on this. song, and that also was a super hit, and it was a duet song. And I didn't have any problems working on a duet song, and because we all do Shringara Padams, and so that was a beautiful experience, and that was a super hit. It won national award. And that, after that, all Thankar Bachchan films like Solla Marandha Kadai, Pallikudam, Chidambarathil Rappasamy, everything, he would give me one song. And he said, I wanted that an ordinary woman's attitude to be reflected on the screen, and not a film choreographer. So thanks to him, I've done many, many songs with him. Then I was called, do you want to show any clip now?
We are good. So I will post it in between. But I mean, we are all listening to you, so we will come in between, and we'll definitely do it. I'm just
Okay,
okay.
now then I did very recently, about few years back, I did Jnana Rajashekhar's Ramanujam, which was a story of a mathematician, Ramanujam, and I did a very beautiful, intense love song, music by Ramesh Vinayakam. I loved doing it. Very so subtle, and yet so ironic.
Oh, I remember that song very well. I watched that movie. I loved that movie first of all, and then as soon as you said which one, I mean, I didn't even know it was you. Now I can, I just imagined that song. It was such a beautiful song.
Thank you.
Beautiful work.
So that's how my film journey. And then I should mention here some memories with Saundarya, who died in a helicopter accident. And Saundarya had worked on Ilayaraja's music for a film called Even, directed by Parthiban. And it was sung by Sudha Raghunathan. And Ilayaraja, because it was Sudha, made the song very intricate with half, kaladam, aredam, and mukaladam, ella swaras. Then when the song was given to me by Parthiban, he said, Parthiban, because he worked on my song in Alagi, he wanted me to do it, me being a classical dancer with a music background. So when I went there, Saundarya didn't know anything about classical music, and she had fever, just with the fright of working on a song like that. But I gave her strength, and we all said we could make her look like a very professional singer, not to bother and everything. And it was very tough because it was a very intricate song. And as you all know, in films, they just by heart four swaras at max. So four swaras or five swaras. And then I had to just be counting all the time and saying 1, 2, she would deliver the 4 songs. So it was tough for her. But then we all took the song, and here I must say that Ilayaraja saw the song, and when it came to editing, somehow Parthiban said, I want you to come and edit. So because it's so complicated, and I want you to edit. So I went and edited. Then after the edit was over, Ilayaraja saw the song, and he said, who's done the choreography? He said, Radhika, I would like to meet her. So when I went to Ilayaraja, he said, Amma, after a long time in films, with not even in one place you went out of Thalam. Because sometimes in films they're doing some just general Thalam. He said, perfect sync, and I loved it. So that was like I was on cloud 9. So to get this from him, what more do I need? So many songs, and then so Saundarya was the artist. She said she made me look like a professional singer, so I want her to do on a song, a Kannada film, which was the original. Mani Chitratar was the original in Malayalam by Shobna had done.
Yeah, I remember that. Watched that in Tamil as well. Yeah,
and as Chandramukhi.
Right. Yeah,
That was Chandramukhi. This Aptamitra was shot before Chandramukhi. Okay, after Mani Chitratar in Malayalam, they shot the Kannada version. So I didn't know it was P. Vasu's film. I just went to Mysore. We shot in Mysore Palace. So I went there, and Saundarya didn't know dancing. She was so scared again. She said, Radhika, I can't dance for nuts. I can't dance classical Bharatam. Others, film dance is okay. Then I said, I'll make you look like a good dancer. Don't worry. No, she said, Shobana has done it, and how can I do? So the whole night after a shoot, we just had one half a day for to practice. And then she worked so hard, Rose. I was so impressed with her dedication. Such a beautiful artist. And we shot the whole thing. And at that time, I didn't even realize she would live only for a few days and she would die. I finished the shoot, and I made her use a lot of her eyes and through expressions and simple moments, yet be it choreographed like she would look like a Rajanartaki. Then I came home, and after a few, maybe 2 weeks, she's gone. I couldn't even believe. And she stayed in my mind she stays even now in my mind. Such a dedicated, and her Guru Bhakti.
It's
When I
definitely
was
hard.
there,
Yeah, when you
she
work with them,
was.
yeah, like a few days before, and all of a sudden, you hear the noise. It's very, very
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I would be there in the set, she won't even sit down. She would ask for a chair for me, and only then she would sit down. A very simple yet grounded artist. So this has been my film journey. But then, film
Beautiful,
working on the
beautiful.
films,
Very, very
I
beautiful.
somehow
Yeah.
thought the reach of the films. Like I love films, right? Any kind of film. I every day I watch movies, so I'm a movie buff. So I thought, okay, the reach of the film is much larger than that of the Bharatanatyam. Now, when I ask the common man, why are you not watching Bharatanatyam performance? They say I watch for the beauty of the costumes and everything, but then beyond that, I don't understand. So I thought it was my duty to take this beautiful traditional art to audiences and make them appreciate the nuances. Now, how are you going to do it? You can't be giving huge lectures and performing. So, and also since I loved film music, I said, why not take the old classical numbers, give them a new color with your Bharatam and stage it. My first experiment was with Kannadasan, and I took all his beautiful numbers, choreographed it with using all the nuances of Bharatanatyam and staged super hit, overflowing audiences. And
I remember one of the shows you did it here in LA. I was there, watched it, and I
with
believe it
Ramya,
was yes, Ramya Harish. Yeah.
Ramya Harishekar,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. You did a
And I
beautiful.
came again a couple of years back. I came again. We did celluloid classics too.
Oh, I didn't know about that. Maybe I
Yeah,
was out of town.
multilingual. Irvine.
Okay,
Irvine, we
okay.
did.
I probably I was out of town or something like that, but I didn't watch that one. So I watched the very first
The
one.
first
Yes.
one was with live orchestra. The second was with recorded
Oh, okay. Awesome.
and with
Awesome.
multilingual language songs.
Beautiful.
And
Very
well, it
beautiful.
became a big hit.
Of course.
And so people, the success of these productions are I have repeated audience,
Right,
like they go
right.
for films.
Yes,
And
yes.
the entire film industry, all the great legends, the directors, the cinematographers, everybody have seen the show. And MS Vishwanathan, who was there as a chief guest for my first show on Kannadasan, came and said, Radhika, I don't know where my music stopped and where you had added music. So I went into the shoes of MSV and did music accordingly, so that it should not take, I don't have the right to change the original, right? But I wanted add on music as jatis or swaras or alapana, whatever. I added in accordance to the original. So there is a beautiful blend, seamless blend, where you can't differentiate. So he said, such beautiful blending you have done to music, amazing work. And I remember Bharadaraja saying, and looking at Nataraja and said, you have placed film music here next to Nataraja. Now, these are things that push me to work further. And why not? Well, it has not been a journey of a bed of roses, but a lot of um, bricks and a lot of hurdles to be
Of
crossed.
course, of
Because,
course. Yeah.
Rose, when I started working on film music, before seeing my performance, there were people who said, films. Okay, every school, every college, there is Bollywood dancing. Now, I was very clear that I wanted my work not to be or anything just film music, but it had to be different. It had to have the essence of Bharatanatyam. See, a film song, even college students who do a good job, then how different are you going to be there? So I worked very hard, and when they saw my performance, they took back their words. So, but before that, when they hear that you're working on film songs, they say, film songs, anyone can make it a hit. My master said, "Oh, I knew you were working on film songs, but wow, you put so many inputs into it, and amazing," he said. And
Very, very, very lovely to hear that. Yeah, I mean, so
yeah,
you break the
on
barriers.
the
I mean, you know.
stage, when I did Takadimita 250, huge event, he came on stage. That was great of him to say that. He said, he was not Padma Bhushan then, but he told the audience, I don't have any Padma Shri or Padma Bhushan, but I have the biggest honor of telling me that I am Radhika's teacher, Guru. I cried sitting
That's
in the
very
panel.
beautiful. That's for a student. That is a, you know, like a hearing. That is a legacy, I would say. That's
Nothing
beautiful.
I need, Rose. My life is complete. I don't have big dreams. I work for my pleasure now, what I feel like I'm doing. I'm working on a very new project for coming November. But that's it. See, whenever I did a film show, I made sure I did a classical production next to it, so that I don't give up on the classical tradition. It's not that I was doing only films. So this year I do something, then in 6 months, 7 months, I would come up with a tribute to MS. I did a tribute to MLB. Then I did uh, Triveni, DK Patamal, MS and MLB. Then I did a tribute to Balamuralikrishnan. So I made sure, and then I did something called Muttamil Malai, different facets of Tamil. So I made sure I compromised, got a balance in both. And this November, on 18th on Kanda Shashti, I'm planning my new production. The recordings are going on. It's called the K3. I'm just first time I'm sharing this news. I haven't told anybody. So it's called K3. K3 stands for Kanda Kadamba Kadirvela. And first time I'm trying Kanda Shashti Kavacham.
Oh, beautiful. That's really beautiful to
As you
hear.
know, Kanda Shashti Kavacham does not give scope for any Natya element. It's just, it is like a kavacham, an armor to protect you. And after COVID, and I thought that this should be done. When we are reading Kanda Shashti Kavacham, when you're listening to it, why not do it in a Natya? So that also the people will recite with this Kanda Shashti Kavacham, and which is good for them. So this is my prediction for November. I'm premiering
Oh,
it.
beautiful. Okay, audience, hear that. You know, first time ever she released that, you know, what she is working on. Beautiful to hear that, Radhika ji. Thank you so
I
much.
haven't told anyone. I'm keeping it a secret, but
Awesome. And
I've told
then,
you.
beautiful. This is, I mean, it's an amazing, you know, journey in the movie industry, what you have done or you're doing still, you know. And, but I also know that you, you know, a while ago that you had some setbacks due to, you know, like a personal, you know, health reasons or whatever. If you are comfortable, you know, of course, if you would
No,
like to share.
absolutely no problem.
Yeah, so
I
what
can
kind of
share.
the setback you have gone through, if you wanted to share it with us, you know, that will also, you know, like health or, you know, anything should not stop an artist. And you are one great example of that. And if you would like to share that with us, that would be great. So,
Rose, I was a very active performer. As Trio Sisters, we were very, very popular. And very many performances. My last tour was about 15 years back, 20 years back in Australia. 15 years back in Sydney, when all three of us performed. And I was very happy performing as a trio because the group chemistry that I shared with my sisters. We are all very different, Rose. Three of us were very different. In fact, Subbudu had written when we were performing in Delhi, he had written a three-way mirror. We were coordinated at a macro level, but at a micro level we were all very different personalities, and that was charming. And because Dhananjay's did very many special choreographies on us. And but what happened was I started having pain on my knees, both my knees. And I was I went and did all the tests with the doctors, and the doctor said you have torn your meniscus, and you have to give up dancing. And I said, no, I won't. I refused. And I kept performing, but it only worsened my situation. So finally, the stage came when I had to give up dancing on stage, and that made me very depressed, Rose. In fact, I wanted to commit suicide. Can you believe that? Such a strong woman, I thought I should commit suicide because dancing was everything to me, and when I can't dance, then I don't live, I don't exist. But then a lot of people helped me go through it, and in fact, I wouldn't mind confessing that I went to a psychiatrist, one of the best persons, Lakshmi Vijay Kumar, and she gave me back a new life to me. And with medication, I became okay. I said, why not? If I can't dance, I'll make others dance. I'll give them an opportunity to perform. And that's how my television show started with the charity. I said, and also television rarely had space for young artists. It was always the seniors and the legends who were performing, but the young artists were nowhere. So I wanted a show for the youngsters. And I said, okay, I can't dance. I had somehow reconciled to it. I became more a choreographer and a guru, teaching. And then dancing, I gave opportunity to a lot of children to perform. And basically, I'm not for a competition. I always think each artist is so unique and so special. There was no need for a competition. But after having worked on a game show, which is a competition on Natya, I tried very many things in that, Rose. I made them dance to different kinds of music, challenged them through puzzles, crosswords. We have done so many things. Spot the artist, identify the raga, identify the item, and then we would show a clip and say how many times did she use the mudra and things, observation, so many things over these 500 episodes. And we have showcased about 10,725 artists. Okay, 500
That's
episodes. And then,
amazing. That's okay. Congratulations. That's really beautiful to hear that. That's
so
so
I got immense joy and pleasure in seeing the youngsters dance too. You need not see anyway with age. I would have come to a standstill at some point because I somehow felt okay. My mother would always say, Rose, I must say this. My mother would say, either you become a legend, you are a legend, or you are different. So I knew in my heart I am not a legend. So I chose to be different.
you will become. I mean, you still have long way to go. You're still young, and so you will create that
Well, in
legendary.
60s, young. You call me
you
young. Young
you
at heart, yes.
you are no, you are young, and compared to the 90-year-olds, you are still a baby, right? So you have a long way to go to create that. So I mean, you can be both legend and different. So which is
Yeah.
wonderful.
That's my journey with the television.
Right.
On a game show which became very worldwide, very, very popular.
Right, right.
And first
What
of its kind.
that's what I would say. The next question for you, I would say, is what award that brought immense joy?
Pardon?
What kind of award that gave you the immense like a joy?
See, all awards give pleasure and happiness, but every time I receive an award, Rose, I feel along with the joy and thrill that you get receiving an award, it reminds you of a great responsibility to stay worthy of the award. So you have to work harder, push yourself more. And it's not that the award just is just an award and you can keep relishing on it. No, the award is given to you in recognition of what you've done, but it also tells you, yes, it reminds you that you have to work more. So my best awards were Kalaimamani, because that was signed by Jayalalitha Ma. So, and that gave me immense pleasure. But unfortunately, she was not there when I received it.
Oh,
Then,
very sorry to hear that. Very
yeah.
sorry. Yeah.
So they didn't give for 5 years. They did not give, and they
Right,
gave
right.
me
I remember. Yeah, so they kind of accumulated and gave a whole
Yeah.
bunch. Yeah,
Yes.
I
Yeah.
remember. And
So
what are the
and
very best compliments you had received on your journey?
The best compliment was from my master. He said, I take pride in saying I am Radhika's guru. I have the biggest title and the most prestigious title. He said Radhika's guru. Nothing more.
Oh,
Nothing
beautiful.
more.
That's really
And
beautiful.
getting the award at the House of Parliament in London, that also humbled me. I was so happy to receive that. And but whether big or small, every award, it gave me pleasure. It reminded me of my responsibility. And well, it is, you can't, we are all human. You can't say that it doesn't matter to me. Yeah, we don't work for awards, Rose. Nobody works for getting awards. But when awards come on your way, then you take it gracefully, accept it, and with humbly. And
Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful. That's a
yes,
beautiful expression. I really love to hear that. So
thank you.
that's really wonderful. And so let me ask you, what are the scariest or any scariest incident that occurred in your journey, dance journey?
Well, there have been so many scary moments. Like once I almost got electrocuted on Music Academy stage when I was doing this International Dance Alliance. So Leela Shekhar was the chairperson then, and R. Venkatraman was the chief guest. And when he was about to enter the stage, and I got pulled to an electric pole, and electric pole there, and I could sense a shock, electric shock, which was very quite intense. And I could just picture my daughter, picture myself as a charred completely, and my daughter out in the streets crying for me. That was very scary. It just a couple of seconds, then the lighting man Gopi went and switched off the main. Fortunately, it was all my gold jewelry which attracted me to the pole, and there was a leak in the pole.
Oh my
So
God,
he
that is
saved my life.
definitely.
Like, I was shivering like this after, and we went through this performance, but I was shivering because the shock was quite intense. That was one moment, and the second moment, we normally when you dance as a trio, I stay in the center. Two of my sisters look alike, so they stay to my sides. And on that particular day, they were doing a varnam, and Master Dhananjay Master was doing the Natuvangam. The huge dome, those days there was no halogen or anything. They had those huge dome lights. It just fell right at the center and shattered to pieces. So my master had to scream to stop them. My sisters continued dancing. Fortunately, I was not there in the center. And master said, stop, 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 stop. And we had to clear the stage and do it. So minor, I think it was a scrape through. I could have got hurt that way. But the
Wow,
most
that is
scariest one,
definitely scary. Yeah.
but the most scariest one was a couple of years back, about 6 years back. We went on an ICCR tour to Sri Lanka. And there was one performance in Nedanthivu. Nedanthivu is a small island away from Jaffna. It would take about 45 minutes or 40 minutes to go by a Kutti ferry. Now, the ferries that they used were all this ordinary shipping boats. Okay, all of us went in the morning. The sea was beautiful, calm. We went, we did our makeup there, did an excellent performance. And that was the first group to have performed in Nirundivu. We had an overflowing crowd, and where we saw Hanuman's foot embedded when he jumped to Lanka. He landed on that, so we could see this huge imprint of his foot. Okay, we did the performance, and after dinner and everything, we got into our boats, and they just had a kutti lantern in the boat. Otherwise, the boat was all dark. And the outside rails, my group, I had gone with a group of about 12 dancers. They were all holding on to the rail and singing Beautiful Sky and everything. Complete pitch dark with only a starlit sky. And we come, as we were nearing the shore, we were coming back to Jaffna. The boat stopped. And the sea was very rough, very rough. We were going this way, side to side. And then for me, it was a big responsibility of having the entire group of 12 dancers with me. And I didn't know. And that was the first time I cried. I cried. I kept praying, God, please save these children. Please save them. And the sea was so rough. No, the lights went off. The lantern light also went off. We were in dark, and nothing. I could see only the stars all over me with a rocking on a rocking boat. It was too scary, Rose. The sea was very, very rough. We were going almost like this. And that put a lot of fear into me. And even now, look, I get scared thinking about that moment. Then, fortunately, the Indian embassy there on the Jaffna, they went by another boat. They sent another rescue boat, and that man jumped into our boat. Their motor stopped, and I didn't know what was happening. And he was not telling me the truth. I said, "What's happening? Are we going to drown? Please tell me, please tell me." Madam, wait, 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 wait. He didn't say anything. And that, see, if he had told me not to worry, somebody will come and all that, nothing. Okay, he didn't tell me anything. And he said he was tense. So I got tense, and I weeping, weeping continuously for half an hour. We were like that. And imagine my dancers, fools, they are happy. Akka, don't cry, Akka. And they were all singing Titanic songs, and I was getting scared. Like a Titanic, what if we go inside the sea? Not, I was not scared of me, Rose. I was scared for all the children.
Yeah,
Then
yeah,
the
they are
rescue
your
boat came.
responsibility when you take
Yeah,
them.
my
Yes.
responsibility, and the unmarried children, all of them. And what do I tell? What happens? And I prayed to God. I kept saying Kandashashti Kavacham. I kept saying all the prayers I knew. And the rescue boat guy came and made it okay. We reached the shore after 40 minutes of scary experience on the
Wow,
sea.
that is definitely all three of them is like definitely one of a kinds, I would say.
Yeah,
Yeah,
however strong you are, when
yeah,
you're responsible for children and when you go on an international tour, and that was yeah, not last show. The last show was on Gaul. Yeah, that's a beautiful experience. Sri Lanka was a very successful tour.
yeah.
And
But
Russia,
yes, you said
the
correct.
Festival of India.
Scariest, yeah,
And then
very.
Iraq, you
Mhm.
won't believe, we went to Iraq, and we performed at the Hanging Gardens of Babylon. It was another intimate, just the three of us, trio. And we were among the 36 countries that were represented, we were chosen as the best. So
Beautiful,
these are
very beautiful.
memories that I cherish.
Cherish, of course, of course. I know you are largely into television productions too. Like a very, very largely. And please tell us your learning experience in television techniques. So, I mean, of course, you briefly said, you are a Swayambhu, that you have learned most of it by looking at it, watching at it, and what that experience, how do you implement also that into your dancing life? And
Well,
what are
television
the,
and
first of all, what
dancing.
techniques you learned? Yeah.
Yeah, but television and dancing now, my working with television has an influence on my choreography in classical dance. And my training in dancing helps me in television. It's a mutual give and take for me. And like I said, I had no formal training in television, and I learned only by watching. Like, very surprisingly, in the film industry or in the television industry, nobody has time or the interest to train you.
Right. So that's
Nobody
really
teaches you.
beautiful. Yeah, that's very, very beautiful.
No.
And also, you have done the game show on dance. Can you shed some light on that side of
Yes, I
it?
will. I will. I will. Nobody teaches you about lenses. Nobody teaches you as to how to backlight for a person or how to do anything. They all do their work when given instructions, however you want it. Now, the game show had to be very different. And so I thought a good move was to have actor dancers anchor the show so that we bring in more common audiences to watch Bharatnatyam. So I was very lucky, thanks to the Almighty. I was lucky to have Bhanupriya, Shobana, Sukanya, Mohini, Sudha Chandran, a list of the actor dancers. So but then it was not trained. I had to train them, give them the script, and make them do, because for them also they did it only for their love of Bharata. They had done so many films. There was no need to do a television show for them, but they did it for the love of Bharatam and for me. So I'm extremely grateful for that. And then, so when I did television show, everything had to be very short, crisp, so that before the audience get tired, They are watching dance in their living rooms. So that way we are reaching thousands of people, but it had to be crisp before they get bored or switch channels. Now you have a remote with which you can always switch channels. So I must hang on to a show. Originally, I thought I would do only a talent show with Takadimita. I wanted a very catchy title. So, excuse me, from the song Love Birds, Takadimita. I stole the Takadimita and named my show after that. And well, my love for cinema also influenced me in my thinking. Then we had Iman do the title music, very catchy and very popular. Well, when I did the show, I had to make dance look very appealing, and even to a person who's not interested in Bharatanatyam. So all my montage cuts and everything, in fact, there have some people who or even said that you have glamorized Bharatanatyam. Yeah, I said, so what? So long it's aesthetic and it's beautiful, it's not vulgar. Why not? So I made very catchy shots, and I would try. I had the crane, I had everything. My movement looking from a top angle would be very different. My working in films helped me too. Working on a crane, looking at a movement from top is different from looking at it sideways, or you put it on a track, it looks very different. So, which angle you choose for which movement is so important. So my dance training and television training helped me, and I grew with the show. I must say I grew with the show, and but
Very
I also
Yeah, very beautiful. I have a small clip to share for the audience. I think I'm not
yes.
sure whether it's from, like this is a. I mean, I kind of stole here and there a little bit since you are there. So this is one thing for our audience that I wanted to show. That was beautiful. I thought,
Thank
okay,
you.
since you are mentioning this, it's the right time that I just show
Yes,
that to the
thank you.
audience.
Like I said, a lot of see, when what I learned about television, dance is a different medium where you see live audience, but when you see them through television or camera, they become real audience. So there, what happens is that time and space concepts differ from stage to screen. So in fact, the space becomes almost inverted on screen. So and then the multi-layering techniques in one frame, I can show so many things. Fast forward or going back, all that is possible, which is not possible on stage. So there are so many advantages of the medium, the lens medium. Only thing you have to understand it and use it properly and in appropriate places, not everywhere, but use them appropriately. Then you can. Why not? Yeah. Do you think it is glamorous? My title. You think it's glamorous?
It's such a beautiful title. Yeah.
Let it be
Let
glamorous.
it be
Why not? Let
glamorous.
it
No,
appeal
why
to
not?
people.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. See, I mean, maybe people thought that, like you came from Kalakshetra, so, you shouldn't be. But I would say it's gorgeous. Like if what is, what is glamorous about, what is not glamorous about, it's like, it's in individual's perspective, individual's
Yes.
mind. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I don't feel ashamed to say I did glamorize art. Why not?
Yeah,
Without
it is okay.
without making it look vulgar. There's a
Exactly.
difference. Without
Exactly.
making
Yeah.
it look vulgar, I did glamorize.
Yeah, it's
So
okay. Yeah,
that's
glamorous is,
my
I mean,
entry
you
into
are working.
television.
Yeah, you are working in the film industry. Film industry is all about, commercialism, and they have to, they are investing, crores and crores of rupees, or dollars, and they have to get it back. So they have to, to certain level, they have to commercialize it. When you are presenting certain things, it's okay to glamorize it. There is nothing wrong with that. Yeah,
No,
definitely.
no,
But
but I thought the medium gave me the technique to do it. And to use it appropriately, I thought that was a challenge and I
yeah,
learned.
but you did beautifully. I mean, as you mentioned, glamorization is okay, but as you said, it's not vulgar, definitely,
Yeah.
which is really,
Thank you.
really, yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
beautiful.
But this also, but I'm a qualified computer engineer. But Rose, you won't believe
I
me.
didn't know that part of it.
I did systems training and I was a
Wow.
systems engineer, but I was not happy working, Rose. I worked for a year and somehow I thought I was missing out on something. But I was, like I said, I come from a middle income group and then it got me good income. Being a computer engineer in late 70s or early 80s, and people thought I was crazy when I suddenly said I want to quit computers. My father told me that do whatever gives you happiness and only then you will excel. So I gave up computer and a fabulous salary. Had I continued, I would have been a top person now somewhere, but
You
I
are
don't
still, come
regret.
on, you're still a top person now.
I don't regret it, Rose. So I gave up computers completely. Now, today you ask me bit and byte also, I won't know because I have forgotten everything.
That is definitely a news to me. I never knew about that part of you.
No, but I have completely forgotten. So dance became my life and choreography, everything connected to. I did spread my wings to television, to choreography in films, ad films. Then dance had to be different for a still camera, for a moving camera, for a addy camera on films. It had to be different. So my research went on that, and I'm very happy when I got the honorary doctorate from US on choreography.
Beautiful, beautiful. I'm so happy to
So
hear that. Yeah.
now, during COVID, too, like I said, my new production is for, I saw people around the world suffering, and I thought it was my duty to do Kavacham. I somehow felt it's like a medicine. So I had to do
That is a
Kavacham
beautiful
for
thought. Yeah,
everybody.
that will definitely succeed so big. One more thing I wanted to ask is, I'm sure that you are working on experimental work on celluloid, and can you explain? First of all, I couldn't quite get what it is in classical dance. Can you explain what it is and what kind of experiments that you do on this topic, please?
Experiments that I did with Natyam.
Celluloid.
Well, celluloid, see, for any sequence to be done on the films, and the major difference is on stage as artists, we are asked to be little loud so that audience see you from a distance. So when you're going to be so subtle, you won't reach beyond the fourth row or the fifth row of the audience. So we are
It's
asked to
same
be.
also with singing. Yeah. So in similarly,
Yes,
yeah.
and that is why the Angika Abhinaya comes in, the use of the body, the limbs, the hands, hand gesture. We all know it's a language. We communicate with the flowers or the bees or the birds, the eyes, the lips. The hand gestures will help you, but it along with your facial expression. Now, when you go to television, when you're going to be as dramatic as you are on stage, it will all to become too loud and harsh. You have to undertone, you have to be very, the Satvika Abhinaya is predominant. You don't even have to use a hand gesture, but you have to be intense in portraying an emotion because the lens can capture portions of your face or even the hands, even a slight movement of the hand this way can be beautifully captured to be to reflect a mood or a situation. Now, like I said, I not many dance songs I did. I did more emotional songs, directorial songs where I directed the song. So I have worked with some of the best artists, and so when I even show them a little, they would immediately grasp it, like say Parthiban or Nandita Das or Soundarya or anyone. So when I show something, I never had assistants when I worked for Philips. Even on my
You don't
television,
need
I
one.
had
You definitely, I mean, even though, you don't need one, you are the
no,
best.
the thing was getting my assistant to show the emotion would be more time consuming than me working directly with the artist. So when I show them the move, so I would be everywhere and I would run around and show everything and make the artist do it. So that was one big lesson that I learned, that to be subtle and yet intense. That was a major show. You can't be loud with your hands. Even now, you see, when I use my hands and talk, I'm all chopped off. So I need to use within the frame. You have to tell them what the frame is, and to use everything within the frame so subtly is so important and so challenging. This is a major learning that I've learned. And
And
this
this is
has
very
helped
beautiful.
me work with Abhinaya for the classical stage items, where it's not along with the hands, if we can bring that intensity along with the hands, how much more your Abhinaya, richer your Abhinaya becomes. It's not that I stopped only with dance. I did try my hand with music too. I did a music show for a channel which started by Bharati Raja, but unfortunately they had to wind up the channel. But during the COVID, and I did an entire series of 100 episodes of Raga Darbar, where I would ask an artist to choose a raga, explain the beauty of the raga, the nuances of the raga, and sing a composition in that raga. So 100 episodes I did during COVID.
It's very beautiful. Yeah, that's very, very beautiful to hear. Yeah.
And then I did another 100 episodes called Nritya Utsav, that's for dance. So even during COVID, I kept myself active, and that's when I learned how to do a live and how to go live with an artist. And
Very, very
so
beautiful to hear that.
I
Amazing.
think till my last breath, I would be doing something.
You will be. I mean, there is no last breath, so don't worry about it. But you will be always doing something in
I don't
terms
know.
of
I've
dancing.
grown very spiritually too, Rose. As you age, you go gracefully, and art is a sagara, an ocean, and what you're doing is just one tiny drop of it. So there are people who have done more than you, people who will do more than you. So in the whole spectrum, you're just one dot. So a lot of humility has to come in for that's what I would like to tell the next generation of dancers. Just because you do an arangetram or you do a concert well, it doesn't mean you've mastered the technique, or when they have show attitudes, and sometimes a thing gets into the head, you think you are the greatest. No, art should make you, the more and more you grow, the more and more humble and simple you should become.
Very true. I agree with that. I complete 200%. I agree with that. That's beautifully said, Radhika ji. And I just wanted to, right now I'm going to do a rapid round, which means I collected some pictures from your social media, from, like a Google searches and all that. So I will post a picture and on the screen, and you have to tell me in one sentence where it is from, what it is, and, like
Okay.
something about the picture. Okay.
Okay.
So I know researched about you and stole a lot of pictures from Google. So,
Okay, Dad. Exciting.
yes, it's going to be very exciting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mute myself so that the picture will come. So you are going to be unmuted. So you will explain only one sentence you can use about that. So not explanations. Okay. So that way, this is because this is rapid round. It is going to go in one sentence. As soon
Fast.
as yes, exactly. Awesome. So I'll mute myself.
Oh, this is for an album that I shot Chitraka. I shot all the legends for Abhay. I directed an entire CD. This is with my guru, with whom I learned, spent a few years, Kalanidhi Narayanan. That's, of course, my favorite, Paduaka. And that was also for the legendary dancers shooting. Yeah. Again, Paduaka, when we did a question answer interview with her. Okay, this was for Adal Kaniru, where we shot in the IIT campus before my show Shakuntalam. And Shakuntalam, I must say one line more. That was a film on stage, Shakuntalam. I did MS Subbalakshmi's film on stage. And this is a Mukunta Mukunta song, which I did for Wali sir, a tribute to Wali. This is again for Shakuntalam pre-program shoot. Oh, this is A.R. Rahman's first song that I tried on stage, Anjali Anjali. This is, of course, my Muttamil Malai. The song was Vellai Thamare Poovilirupal, Bharatiya's beautiful composition. This was when I was given an award by Podikai, Doordarshan, for my service. That's Venirada Nirmala, and that Balaramani was the station director, who is no more now. Happy to have received it. Of course, this was for Kunjam Salangai, a tribute to Kaviyarasar Kannadasan, Bharadiraja, Vairamuthu Sir, and M.S. Vishwanathan. Suhasini Maniratnam, I worked a small sequence when they did a classical work. She wanted me to teach her a few movements at her house. Lakshmi Gopalaswamy, when she presented my Takadimi Takachono. This was 2 years back, Chennai Cultural Society, when they gave me an award. This is YG Makendra in the sets of Takadimita. And I made celebrities. One season, I made celebrities like YG Makendra, Abhirami, Ranjita, Sulakshana, and very many, Bombay Nyanam and others host the show. So it was in the sets. Janaki Sabesh, oh, beautiful actress. Again, they were all part of the series where they hosted the show. Sulakshana, again from the same Takadimita, where she hosted the one episode. Vineet, when I did a documentary as my offering to my guru, I did a documentary on him, Kala Sadhana, and there I went and shot Vineet. It was with bites from everybody. Padduaka with the 250 celebrations, and that was Krishnaveni Lakshman in the background, 250 celebrations of Takadimita. This was my first big award from the governor, then governor. That was Mrs. YGP. I got Kala Seva Bharati from Bharat Kalachar. Chitraka and Vishweshanna, I went and shot segments for my Takadimita, and he sang and Akka did Abhinaya. And I had the privilege to shoot exclusively for me. Sarasa teacher, she was so fond of me. And every Takadimita, I must say here, all the dancers, dance gurus helped me get that real beautiful applause and audience for my show. Immediately, the moment I asked them, they would come in and do anything. So thanks to all these great legends. Sudharani auntie, when I did, again, she one season of Takadimita, she spoke about Margam. Every week, the audience would look forward to one segment of Margam from Sudhaka. Parthiban during the sets of Even film. I said Ilayaraja music. This is during the shoot of Even. This is Shakuntala, my daughter Kritika, amazing dancer, very beautiful theatre artist. She won the Best Actress Award too. And she's doing a lot of Tamil theatre now. And she was Shakuntalam in my Premail Shakuntalai. Oh, this was when I was honored with the Global Achiever Award at the House of Parliament, London. This is my Kalaimamani from EPS, and yeah, I'm sad that I didn't get it from Jayalalitha. And she loved my show. It was because of her that we did Takadimita. She said, Radhika, do anything different with Bharatanatyam for the media. I will support it. So, and she was very, very fond of it. This was again at the Global Achiever Award, Kalaimamani from Tamil Nadu government. Deva sir in the middle. Excuse me. That was for an ad shoot. And there were dancers on whom I choreographed, and I also came on screen as a guru, doing a small Nritta sequence, and one dancer would have a hair flowing all around. That was some ad. Again, it was Takadimita, 500, I think. Vaijayanti Amma came there. Everybody, I had Chandru Anna at the background. I have Kannan, then everyone, all the legends. It's one of my favorite and treasured pick. This is from Shakuntale, when the last scene of Shakuntala. This was when I turned 60. It was during COVID. And Master Akka, you won't believe, the guru, as Shishya should go to the Guru. But the Gurus came to me. And there was strict lockdown. So they stood at the gate. They gave me a gift, gave their blessings. And they came to my house to bless me. This was when Shobana hosted Takadimita. And that's my daughter. And that's Kuti Mahati, whom Paduka is. And this is Churchill Pandian, whom I should say has been a very big pillar of support for all my shows. This was Takadimita Kajonu when now recently last year when they came as permanent judges for the entire series. With Ilayaraja, when I did the music for dance choreography on his songs, and he had personally had a lot of good things to say. This is recently at a wedding with Vaijayanti Amma. She was my favorite artist on screen, and she loved me. And she came for my show, shared her experiences too. Chachu Amma, oh, my pet star. And she was great as president, secretary of Tamil Nadu ELSA Nadaga Mandram. I've done many shows for Jayalalitha, tribute to Jayalalitha, and Chachu Amma was behind that. She would say, "Come on, do different things," and she made me choreograph beautiful songs. And she is my dear friend too, even now. This was recently when I got Lasya Award. And I directed a competition for them, and the Indian Icon Award, which I received 2 weeks back.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. You did a good job on that. I thought, okay, you will stutter, I pulled out a lot of pictures. I was like, okay, let me
Thank
pull it
you.
out. And she's going to just, okay, I don't remember where this is from. I don't remember where this is from. But you did a great job.
Which means, it gives me hope. My memory is not bad.
Very good. Fantastic, phenomenal. You did an amazing job on that. I'm
Thank
very
you.
proud of you.
It was so beautiful going down memory lane.
You passed the rapid round. Okay, my last question before we come to a conclusion. What is your advice to the next generation dancers or artists who want to take up dance or music or any other fine arts as a career?
Okay, I don't think I'm qualified enough to give advice to them, but as a person with my experience, I think it's nice that you share and advise youngsters what to avoid. See, first thing, when you want to learn an art, you must be passionate about it. Okay, sometimes children start learning an art, music or dance just because of parental pressure. But somewhere after a few years, you must start having the fire within you. Nobody can push you to be a singer or a dancer unless you start developing it. Okay, at a young age, you don't know what you're good at. So your parents would put you into many things, but the children sometimes they are not the most difficult part they want to avoid. Okay, they were the hard practice and where you sweat it out in dancing. I find they want to avoid that. They want to skip and go through only items, which is not possible. You have to learn the alphabets, you have to learn the language to start writing poems. The same way, the technique has to go into you, for which you need to sweat it out. And for many, many hours, you need to do sadhakam, be it music or dance. So don't give up because you don't want to do the practice. That's one. See, there are 100 people running a race, and a lot of people give up halfway. And the one who runs till the end is the winner. You have to remember that. Then all this hard work, perseverance, patience. You should not rush through anything. Like a flower, like a bud, it takes its time to bloom. If you're going to take a bud and open out its petal, it loses its charm. The same way, the art within you has to blossom. It will take time. So you have to be very patient. You have to wait, keep doing your sadhana again and again and again, and repetition. Sometimes children get bored. After sometimes they say, enough, I've done this item once. Let me learn a new item. No, I think the more they have to marinate. They have to marinate the items, only then the real flavors set in. Like my master would say, you do 100 times the same Vasanta Jadiswaram or Tisra Laripu, every time it look different. But you have learned the item, you mastered it, you want to jump and skip and go to the next one. No, that doesn't work in art. If you want to be a true good artist, also innovations will come only with a deep foundation of tradition. Now, even before you master your tradition, if you start innovating, then you half baked. Everything done in a hurry. And also, sometimes I find youngsters doing new things or innovation just for the sake of doing being different. That should not be the case. That innovation and the what you create new has to come with a lot of conviction, a lot of good research, lot of good background of tradition, and only then it will bloom beautifully. It can't, you can't rush through, or oh, I have to do something different. Okay, the sabha is asking me to do, I need to do something different. Then they are not full compositions, beautiful compositions. It's all half baked. Then your fireworks are look very beautiful to watch sometimes. But for a long standing thing, only a good lamp would give that glow. You cannot compare fireworks to the glow of a lamp. So the same way, I think art, you have to come, Lord, be patient, be hardworking, and don't work for awards and titles. Awards and titles will automatically come to you. I come from a very, very ordinary background with no influence, no contacts whatsoever, and no money to throw around. But strong conviction, hard work will pay you. It may take little more time, but what comes, let us be slow but steady. This is my simple advice. And humility, like I said, you never outgrow your art. Art is much greater than the artist. So at every point, one, when you start getting awards, sometimes you're young in age, you get too many awards, then you get carried away and you think you've achieved everything. Nothing is permanent in this life. Your looks, your money, your wealth, your name, fame, awards, nothing stays with you. It is the journey which is so beautiful. And I think you, to excel in the journey, one has to love what they do. You have to love. If you're singing, love it. Only then the fire will come within you. You have to be passionate, and if you enjoy it, that gets automatically transmitted to the audience. That's rasanubhava. You can't fake, you can't cheat audiences. You can make out an artist, and I would say we are almost on stage, you are almost stripped, you are so transparent. What goes through in your mind, you automatically communicate to the audience. So if you're a very scared person, that comes across in your art. If you're a very attitude person, then even that comes across. So being humble, offering it to God, then that also comes, your sincerity comes through. So you cannot fake, you cannot act on stage. Your real self at some point would show up. So they're trying to attain God through arts has been our motto of our religion and our arts, classical arts. So offer it to him, and he will give you all that you desire automatically. Don't work towards anything.
Beautiful,
That's all.
beautiful, beautiful. Very, very, very beautifully said. Thank you so much, Radhika ji. I mean, your not only your advice, your experience, and your legendary work back. What you have done
Oh,
is, like in the movie industry, in the television industry, in the stage performances. This is amazing. As a human to human, I have very great respect for you, and of course all our audiences are too. And this is amazing to bring you in and ask you so many like I just randomly put so many questions, and you answered everything so patiently, very pleasantly. And our definitely our audience around the world had learned quite a bit from your experience, and they will take it to themselves, all these advices that you had given. And again, my sincere thanks to you and for being with us. And I would love to see you again, soon, sometimes, in the near future.
in
So
person. Yes. Next year I'm making a trip, so in person will be.
beautiful. In person, we will do it. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. I've enjoyed myself, Rose. And every program, like a small advice I would just say, every show, whether it is in online or a show or whatever it is, you approach it with the enthusiasm and the joy, like your first performance. Okay, so yet another performance. No, never. It's the same butterflies in your stomach and the same anxiety, the same enthusiasm into anything that you do, then it's beautiful. And
Very,
thank
very,
you for
very.
reliving beautiful moments of my life, and I enjoyed myself. And you're such an articulate person, and to be connecting to you and a great artist. And thank you so much
Thank you
for
very
making
much.
me a
And dear audience from around the world, join me in giving a big round of applause to Radhika ji along with me. That is such a beautiful, beautiful, very beautiful interview with Radhika ji. And thank you all so much for joining me. Yeah, not only in this episode, on every week with, every special guest of ours. I tell you that your support for these kind of, broadcasts is very, very important, not only to me, but also to all our special guests who take part in these special episodes as well. If you haven't started following, please make sure to follow and like the page, Dr. Rose Muralikrishnan, so that every time when I put these lives, you will get the notification right away. And subscribe if you haven't subscribed on YouTube, so that this is simultaneously posted on Facebook Live and YouTube Live, so that you will get at least somewhere or other in Facebook or on YouTube. You can listen to it, and where this live broadcast is happening all the time, most of the time, on three of the channels at the same time. Also to like, comment, and to give us your love by sharing this content with other music and dance lovers, fans, so that they can get inspired through these stories. In conclusion, the Indian dances are not just movements; they are the embodiment of nations, our nations, India's soul, and convergence of the tradition and modernity, and the epitome of human expressions, I would say. Let us continue to embrace, appreciate, and learn from the wisdom these dances offer. May all dancers and dances, including our guest of honor today, Kalaimamani Dr. Radhika Shurajit, continue to inspire us to celebrate our differences, connect with our roots, and revel in the joy of life. I will see you all next week with yet another amazing artist on this Artist Beyond Limits series. Till then, keep smiling, Be happy and stay safe and spread love through music and dance as well as any other fine arts with everyone around the world to make this world a beautiful place to live. Love to you all, and I'll see you next week again. Bye bye now. Thank you so much for staying with me.